These shots were not filmed in a big studio or on an LED wall, they were filmed in here, a 2x4 meter upstairs bedroom. I've spent the last 8 months making a short film to try and push the boundaries of what's possible in a small space, and I'm going to show you how we did it. And stick around to the end because I'll show you the full short film, Treasure of the Mummy. Shooting in a small space on a green screen is super challenging. You have to light people in the green screen separately, you have to manage spill, and you still have to find a way to get decent wide shots. I knew these things going into this, but I wanted to make a film that looked like it was shot on a Hollywood soundstage, so I figured the best way to do this would be to make something that I've always wanted to, and that would be a film inspired by The Mummy. I loved that movie growing up, and to make something that even came close would be an insane challenge. I would need some help. So I started working on the story with Sam Eisenhower from Boundless Entertainment, and while we did that, I gathered reference imagery, sourced a whole load of assets, and started building the environment in Unreal Engine. I would need long tomb corridors and a central chamber with an open sarcophagus. That's when the real challenge started. The biggest difficulty when working with green screen and virtual environments is matching the light. Traditionally, green screens are filmed before the virtual environment is created, meaning DOPs and gaffers have to imagine the light, which is then matched virtually later. But this is a virtual production and everything's kind of upside down. So we already have an environment and Sam's already created some awesome lighting for it, which means we have all of the information we need to nail this light match. We know the size, distance, intensity, and temperature of all of the lights in our scene. We now just need to match that in here.
Your strength gives me strength.
We shot for 4 days with a really small crew, just myself, Dan on camera, Sam, who came over from the States to DOP, and 2 actors, Michelle and Oli. It was amazing that Sam was able to make the trip and be the DOP on set because these were his lighting setups designed by him in Engine, so he knew what he wanted to achieve. Then we used my method for matching the light in the studio to the Unreal Engine scene and ended up with a really solid match. Most of the time Michelle had about 1 meter squared of space to move around in, which is really not that much. If her hand stuck out too far it could get contaminated by green or just leave the green screen area completely. But she was a trooper and managed to pull in a great performance despite these kind of crazy restrictions. We used the Jet Set Cine app for iPhone as our camera tracker, so every shot was 3D tracked on set, which is such a time saver in post because traditional VFX requires you to do your camera tracking in post-production software like Nuke, After Effects, or Blender. And your success at that really does come down to the challenges of the individual shot and your skill, of course. The iPhone was also our virtual monitor as well, so we could use it to view our virtual scene while we were shooting, which is just brilliant for composing shots. So with the shoot over, it was time for post. A lot of post. I think most of this project is actually post. Even though you can render your backgrounds with Unreal Engine in real time, I opted for quality, which means rendering all the backgrounds with either Path Tracer or Lumen with very high samples. The compositing process wasn't short either. I used DaVinci Resolve Fusion for this, and I used their Delta keyer, which is amazing, to do the key, and it was keying fine, but I wanted the best quality possible, which often means mixing multiple keys. And then I did despill, green suppression if needed, often needed, edge corrections, light wrap, and then added motion blur back in because we shot with a high shutter speed for every shot. And it didn't stop there. We needed a mummy for the mummy film, you know? So luckily I found one on the Epic Marketplace, and if you've been watching the channel for any length of time, you probably saw him on a very recent video where I did a little test for this film. I did the facial mocap using a Rococo head rig and phone, and also did the body animation using Unreal's control rig, and ended up doing the vocal performance for the mummy, which I didn't anticipate doing. I had to, lower my voice by several hundred semitones. I don't have a naturally menacing tone. And there are explosions as well, so I had to use Unreal's fracture tools alongside Niagara particles for debris and also Niagara fluids for dust effects. Every part of this process is covered in the Virtual Filmmakers Playbook. This is my virtual production course, where me and Sam take you through every single step of the way from beginning to end of your dream film project. The course is out now, and you can get more information from the link in the description. And when you enroll, you get access to over $300 of free software, and the short film I'm about to show you is proof that it works. So without any more chatter, this is Treasure of the Mummy.
didn't take anything.
But I, Dr. Spur.
There it is. There's the film. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and if you want to make films like it, look at the Virtual Filmmakers Playbook at the link in the description. We currently have 500 spots at 50% off, so if you want one of those, I'd head over there now. I cannot wait to see what you guys make.